Podcast.
So, welcome back to KingWoes Court, episode 9, Inbound. I keep looking away at I should be looking straight at the camera, but it's too weird, but it is what it is. Listen, thanks again for coming onto the show, listening in. Before we start talking to my guest today, we had a video, or if you're listening, it's a song by Horrenda called Axewound. Horrenda are one of my favourite Irish metal bands. I've become really good mates with the lads over the last year or two. And they're actually my favorite kind of iteration of black metal. So I wouldn't be a huge black metal fan, but I love listening to them. So the guest who's with me today is the guy who made their absolutely amazing video, and he has made some amazing videos for a lot of our Irish bands. And I thought it'd be an interesting little chat today, just to see what ticks behind the man behind the camera. So if you welcome today, Angel Croitor to KingWoes Court.
Hey, there you go. You said it correctly. Thank you.
How are you? How are you, brother?
I'm absolutely fantastic. I'm just, keeping my head up, pushing through, as I'm sure like so many other bands are doing the same, getting content out when you can, and just working away, because it's coming. It's coming. We're all gonna do way too much when we're allowed to actually get out. And there's going to be too much content. We won't be able to cover it for years to come.
Well, it's funny. I don't know whether I was telling someone a while ago. Most bands are trying to bring out new music, but my band are bringing out old music. We're bringing it like last year we brought out a single that was 11 or 10 years old, and like this year we're hoping to finish the second album that we never got to finish. So that's what we're doing, which is more or less nothing at the minute.
Well, that's the thing though, isn't it? It's kind of taking, you're probably taking old content, but you're making it fresh. You're rejigging it a bit for like a new audience. Because think about it, you may have released something like however long ago, and the people who listen to you now may not even know you have that. And I think that's a great way to bring it back,
Yeah, well, that's the great thing about music. It really is. Like I still even have people coming up to me saying, "Oh, I love the first album," or whatever, and I'm like, "Oh, well, thanks," Anyway,
like, I forgot the first album,
Yeah, well, what's that? Enough about me. Anyway, enough about me. Right. We're here to talk about you. So you're in. What would you like? Is it you're a filmmaker or a video maker? What's the proper term?
Yeah, so I kind of always wanted to kind of bring it forward as like a filmmaking thing, because I have with my videos, what I've always wanted is it's got to have a cinematic edge to it. Every time I make a music video, it's not just a band performing. I want to have some sort of plot to it. I want to have some sort of like, even if it's just a gimmick, the way that we set the set design in the background and stuff like that in some of the videos I've worked in. So yeah, for sure, I'd call it filmmaking 101, because it's all about the visuals, it's all about the story, and it's the way that you can hear a song, but when you have visuals to it, it completely changes it. It's so much easier to remember.
Absolutely. I really do feel if a band is gonna put the time and effort into making a video, why, and there's no disrespect to any bands who do the whole playing in a room or playing live, that's up to them, that's fine. But if you're gonna get someone with a talent to make a video, why not pick their brain and see what they create from your sound and your lyrics? And I just think it's a fascinating concept, It's
interesting because when we because I have a history in music, like I wanted to be the musicians I filmed, I wanted to be in the bands, I wanted to do like touring and all of that stuff. So to me, it's kind of like being the new member of the band. I want to see what everyone's like. What do they bring in? What's the humor like? And almost like, what's the art level in there? Because some people really don't want to take it too far. They don't want to have a level like a pretense to it. Some just want to keep it nice and cult. You know what I mean? Some people want to keep it nice and raw, nice and just a performance level. And I love all of it. I grew up on Scuzz and Kerrang. I saw Slipknot's videos. I saw Behemoth's videos. I saw every video out there. And to me, it was just fascinating how incredibly energetic these people were and how the performances are captured, even if it's not captured traditionally.
Yeah.
So for sure, it's got that like element of like becoming a new band member, feeling like you're one of them. And you're like, oh yeah, I really love this song. I love what you do here at this riff. So you're kind of you feel it out like as a musician rather than as a filmmaker.
Well, I get that vibe from Dara from Horrenda. He's a big fan of yours. He loves working with you. He loves working with you, and he said he can't wait to hear this, because he was like, yeah, that'll be an interesting show, right? So it's always good when you get that feedback from bands after you've done work with them, collaboration.
Definitely. Dara's got it on the money. Every time Dara talks about an idea, like I'm definitely, don't worry, Dara, if you're listening to this, I'm not gonna reveal what we're planning, but we've got so many like really artsy, like finicky ideas here and there that are just like a one-time event kind of thing, and I can't wait to work with them. They are lads who want to put in the work. So if you can't tell it from the absolutely fantastic music that they put out, you'll be able to tell it from the way they handle visuals.
Absolutely. And just as an example, we just work with Axewound for a minute. Was that a 50-50 collaboration, as in like idea, set design, all that kind of stuff, or did like, if we, like, for example, now, and you can tell me your answer in a second, but if I was sitting down with you now to do a 2000 WoW video, it would probably be just you and me, and that's because the rest of the lads, they're not overly into videos, but I have these mad ideas for videos because they relate to my lyrics, because I write all the lyrics. Do you know what I mean? But anyway, yeah. So you would sit down with. Did you sit down with the lads on storyboard, or what way would it work out? Like,
It's so different for everybody, because that's the thing about getting in and meeting them first. And like chances are, most of the time when I meet them for the first time, they're actually performing for me, with me, or they kind of they have a gist of what they want, but they don't know how to achieve it technically. And the first thing I say with every meeting that I go into is that, like, I am not attached to any idea I bring or any idea presented. I do what is best for the video, for the project. That's just the gist of it. I've never felt otherwise. That's not a thing they teach you. That's just something I developed by myself. So for instance, with Horrenda themselves, I had worked with so many videos and so many bands already that Dara had no fear that I could handle what they wanted. So it was the strangest thing. Like, Axewound was actually Dara and the lad saying, we're not going to tell you anything. Listen to the whole album. I had a pick. I could pick any song I wanted.
Excellent.
I went for Axewound because, like, it's explosive. It's insane. It's such an entry to the metal scene. So if this is going to be your first video, do this. Kick down the door with this song. And they did not stop me. Every time I thought there were going to be a little obstacle here, you know, somebody was going to go, you know, that's just not cult enough. I expected it from black metal. No, the guys were like, don't care. Bring what you want.
Deadly. And that's a perfect symbiosis, really, isn't it, of artists, two artists merging together to make something even better than the solo part. You know what I mean? So that's fantastic. Do you know what another of your videos I love is the minus 10,000 hours one with the zoo? Is it the zoo?
I absolutely love that. Would you believe that video was the most unplanned video of my entire life? So the lads said, they had kind of asked me, first and foremost, this started with one question, which was, are you any good at choreography? And I said, not a chance. I can't do choreography. I have like a history in dance school and all that. No, I just refused to. And then months passed, and the lads said nothing. And then they said, hey, we're making a video on Friday and we're going to get you to do it. It was Thursday. It was Thursday when they told me this. So the next day I rock up and I'm like, all right, what are we doing? I have no shot list. Do you want me to just roll the camera? They're like, all right, so here's the idea. Let's just roll with it. See what you think. Every shot in that has just happened. It just happened, and we kind of had to really quickly storyboard it right there and then. The lads just coming up with anything and everything, and I'm like grabbing things out of the air, like, okay, that's a good idea, but I don't think we should do this. So they like take out a taser and they're like, we have this. I'm like, okay, fine. Brilliant. They tase the monkeys, sure. So that was on the fly, like off the cuff, no planning.
It's just because I really enjoyed that video. I was, as I say, I was just kind of reminding myself of what you've done, just because I don't have the memory of a genius or anything, So
yeah, but brilliant memory if you can remember that video for one.
Yeah.
Like,
I
hide it at the end of my show reels now. I'm like, don't look at that one. Don't look at that
one. It. It's got a certain sweetness to it or something.
Yeah,
and Dylan. Oh God, I love Dylan.
Yeah,
he's an animal. He's an animal, and I mean
Dylan, you guys have Dylan to thank for literally me knowing so many of these bands and having these opportunities, because Dylan took a chance on me when I was trying to make some little horror web series, trying to find out what I wanted to do with film. And I met Dylan through a mutual friend. Dylan was like, do you do music videos? And I was like, yeah, I can try. And I tried a thing with like Puka Productions before when I made I made Cruacon's video, Blood for the Blood God, that Angel one there.
Yeah.
So he had seen that and he's like, yeah, man, no, you can definitely do it. I'm like, I don't know, dude. And he's like, you can definitely do music videos, dude. And I was like, okay, all right, let's do this. So yeah,
that's fantastic. Thanks, Dylan. You're very good.
Yeah, thank you, Dylan.
I don't know if he listens to the show anymore. I don't know. I can't even get in contact with him anymore these days.
I'll tell you now, I'll send this to him. I'll actually link him. I'll be like, you listen to this now and mention your name. And he's like, where? I'm like, you find out. You go and you listen and you find out where.
We're not time stamping anything on this.
Yeah.
So, so I think, I'm trying to think of the best way to I say this nearly every episode now. We should start jotting stuff down, but I like to go on the fly just to see how I go, to see how I roll with it.
I like it that way.
Yeah, it's not exactly safe, So, when did you start doing filmmaking? Did you go to college for it, or?
Yeah. And about like 2011, 2012, I had basically, like an absolute idiot, I decided to fail my leaving cert because when you're into metal and you're into being an outcast, like I'm not gonna do this. I'm not gonna play by the rules. I'll make my own way in life. Yeah, that was a mistake. And then I went to a place called National Media College, which had a really interesting way of teaching. It was like real life filmmakers hired as tutors, but they wouldn't teach their subject. An editor would teach you how to direct, a director taught you how to write, and vice versa, and all of that, because they knew the problems that other members bring to you in post-production. So they wanted you to know how they like it to write, how they like it to edit from a different perspective. So you knew how a whole team works rather than always just my individual thing, even though we all specialize in something. And the very last thing I did, my sign off that got me my dissertation really was, I made a music video. I made a music video for a band. Just one guy called, he went by the name Ricotta, Holly Martin, down in Mullingar. How you, man? And I heard his song Dead Man's Hand. I have a really big thing for Westerns, and the college said we're not paying anything for this video, so I had to pay it entirely. I went to, like, you know, that one that near Temple Bar, there's like a vintage shop.
Yes.
Went in there, got cowboy hats, got dusters, got all of this. Asked about 50 of my friends to come down to Smitty's down in Mullingar. About 5 showed up, you know. Went to the back room, and I was just like, I'm gonna cancel because this is terrible. Nobody showed up. Oh my god, I'm an absolute laughing stock. Day one, I'm a laughing stock. And I got really angry. I was just like, what? No, man, no. How many times are you gonna be like, oh, I'm not ready, I'm not gonna do this, this isn't for me? And then I did it, winged it, and well, here we are talking.
Excellent. That's brilliant. That's brilliant. And so, you know, I mean, I presume you would do any kind of music video for any band, would you? Or does the band really have to appeal to you? Or
there's the thing. I mean? That's something that a lot of artists kind of, I think, have a back and forth between, because if you feel the music, like I felt Axewound for Horrenda, like I felt Black Cloud for Sectile, Dead Labels Triggered, if you feel the music that you're working for, you already instinctively want to jump along. You're seeing the shots, you're seeing the visuals, and songs do give you visuals. You can picture, I'm pretty sure when you listen to like Doom, you can feel the real dragon sludge and all of that. But sometimes I've gotten people who do kind of folk acoustic stuff who have great recording quality. I just can't vibe with that particular song. And I love so much music, but if I don't vibe with the song, it feels like I'm getting paid to create for someone else. There's nothing in me, you know, with me in there.
Well, like I was saying, it really does feel like there has to be a collaboration between the two entities. And that's, I mean, I think that for most creative people, it has to be like that, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. Even in between band members, you can't have somebody come in and just play your bass line or play your drum fill. You've got to have them, a flavor of them in there. Yeah,
absolutely. And that's it. Even though you might have an idea of what you want it to sound like, which I normally do. In terms of my band. Yeah. I'm just lucky with the guys in my band because they're just fucking deadly, like, you know.
Well, that's the thing. That's when I was a musician in bands, dude. I did not know that. I had everything planned out, blast beats at precise moments, like big bar chords and all of that. And I realized, like, how is this a band? This is really just a solo project with 4 other members. So I had to learn to be a team player, and film taught me that. So
deadly. That's it. What is your instrument of choice? Guitar? Is it?
Guitar, yeah. Guitar has been the thing that I locked myself in my room from the ages like 12 to 19. Every day is just like, oh, what's alternative picking? What's sweet picking? Let's make that a song. And just explored it and fell into like, oh, well, what's the rest of music like? You know, like orchestration and all that.
What kind of bands or musicians were you listening to?
It's like it went through that, you know, your stages where you're like, oh, I'm not really into metal, and then you hear Rammstein, you're like, you know what, I'm kind of into metal. And then like Metallica came along, Pantera. But really, where I kind of settled was I really like the kind of the brutal technical, like black and death metal side of things.
Oh, right.
Yeah, so I really like the kind of the apocalyptic sounding. You got to be technical though. I understand black metal has like a real like as a penchant for sounding really rough and really like uncontrolled. Yeah, no guys. I really like bands like Hate Eternal. I love Behemoth. I love Hate themselves, you know, from Poland. Vader. All of these really technical, masterful bands.
Early Vader. I love, and even up to Revelation. Is it Revelations?
I believe so. Yeah.
Yeah, that's where did you see? What did they play with? They played with was it Testament a few years ago?
Oh, see, even Testament. So I love so much music that I can find something in black and death metal in Testament, like the precision picking that they do, and the way the kicks and the riffs just sound like metal chonking along. You know what I mean? Yeah. So good.
Well, funny enough, Chuck Billy was one of my influences to kind of, because I was considering giving up singing.
Yeah.
I've never told this story before, actually. Well, only to people in my very, very close inner circle. Like, I was considering finishing up singing, performing, and I was at home one day and I was listening to. I don't know if you ever heard when Testament brought out. They re-released. I think it was First Strike Still Deadly.
Definitely haven't heard.
And it basically Chuck Billy had throat cancer.
Ah, right.
And when he recovered, they re-recorded some of their favorite songs.
Wow, and that's so sentimental. I love that.
So I was in love with that album. So it was like basically a greatest hits, but they were just modern reproductions of the songs.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh my god, his voice, because his heavy voice is heavy, but it's still listenable. It's it's decipherable, and that's what I like in a heavy vocal, is when it's decipherable. Dave Vincent's my favorite death metal vocalist, for example, and so when I heard the way Chuck Billy was even phrasing things, I was just like,
yeah,
fine. So then, like 2 nights later, at like 2 or 3 in the morning, I got up and I wrote just whatever came to the page, and that was it was actually Religion.
It hits you, doesn't it? It really hits you when like a musician comes along, or even a song comes along and takes it away from you. Dude, I gave up music at 19 indefinitely. I could not touch the guitar. I could not go near it. I didn't even want to listen to it. I was just like, nah, apparently I'm not cut out for this. I'm not, into this anymore. I burned myself out. I forced myself to be so good at it that, like, if I wasn't good at it, I thought it wasn't worth it. So I gave that up, and I found film. I found photography and like lighting and cinematography and all of that. And then one day, this is such a pretentious thing to say. I listened to The Left Hand of God by Behemoth. I was like, I forgot what Behemoth sounded like. And the minute it kicked off, it just sounded so cinematically evil. I was like, yes, this is exactly what I love. And then I picked up my guitar, plugged it into the amp, like just tuned it to like F or something. Because I had like those heavy 14 gauge strings, like just went boom in the background. I was like, yes. So I just started doing it for myself.
Deadly.
Yeah.
And I see you have a few videos up of you playing guitar again.
Yeah. Sure,
that's cool.
That's me telling myself that it's okay to sound rough online. It's okay to like just share your rough bits.
Have fun. That's what it's all about. Having
you get
fun.
It.
Yeah, big time. It's like me. There's an app on my phone, and it's like it's not like a karaoke thing, but you sing with people from all over the world, and
that's
like
so nice. Yeah,
it's hilarious. Like some, like, don't get me wrong, and some of them are crap, but like they're loving it.
That's it. That they're when somebody sells it to you because of their enthusiasm, you want to be part of them. You want to be with them.
Absolutely, and that's the only singing I'm doing at the moment now, because we're not jamming.
Yeah. I'm so intrigued as to how bands are doing right now with like how they're coming together, how they're writing, because there's like a delay online as well, So I can't imagine someone plays a riff and the bassist sits for 30 seconds with, that's nice,
I know. I think most bands will probably throw ideas back and forth. I think it's the only way you can really do it now. I mean, like, we're Zoom calling at the minute. I think a lot of bands will probably talk, have band meetings maybe, or discussions. Throw ideas back and forth. It is a tough time to be trying to write and to be creative. It really is. And when we get out of this, I can imagine, I can only imagine bands, as you said, will be just dying to be.
And that's the thing that I have this kind of, I always galaxy brain. I call it galaxy brain. I always galaxy brain everything and think like, where are we in terms of like a scene, and like what I'm given to the scene, what bands are bringing, where are we on the world stage? And I swear, at the start of 2020, I said to myself, I'm going to big up as many bands as I can find. I'm going to make sure all the musicians I absolutely love are going to get to come up, and whether it be through like collaborations where it's not a full price for a video, but you just go with my idea. I just have this weird visual I want to pull off. You come with me, we do this and that, and I swear we were just at the tipping point of the Irish metal scene getting like international recognition, because what we do here is unbelievable. From Minus 10,000 Hours to Dead Label to Jet Fuel Chemistry to Two Tales of Woe, like there is just so much good music out there that sometimes it used to feel like back in the day there'd be one band, 6 other bands want to sound like it, and maybe like a quirky band who are doing covers. Now everyone is so goddamn good at what you do, lads. This, like, if any bands are hearing this and they're wondering like, oh, maybe it's time to quit. No, it is not time to quit. Hold on to yourself. No. You're gonna miss the boat, and the boat's gonna head out. Hopefully not for a maiden voyage into an iceberg, but still.
Absolutely. I've always been, I mean, in the last, do you know what really opened my eyes to, obviously I've been in the Irish metal scene for 20 odd years, right? I have. But the modern day metal scene, we'll say, over here is fantastic. I fell in love with it all over again. And that's why I started this podcast, was because I think every band, more or less every band, needs to be heard. Every band deserves to be heard. Yeah. And like that, they've stories to tell. And their music is a story in itself. How hard was it for them to get to that level of, getting to make a video or record? Like, it's all fascinating. And we have an amazing scene. Yeah. There's so many good bands in this country for such a small country. Like, right. And when I say this country, I mean north and south. Together, yeah. Oh my God! Like this, a lot of bands up north are just as good. They're spilling onto my scene. They're now talking to me. I'm getting ads and I'm getting bands being like, "Hey, we heard you do videos." I'm like, "Yeah, I do videos, absolutely." I'm like, "Oh, of course, I'll go up north and do videos with you." Absolutely, Imagine some of this scenery up there you could get. Yeah, absolutely. Like beautiful places up there. I'm constantly envious of it. Like as a side thing, like I'm a big like hiker. I'm a big nature person. Like you can see almost in nearly every video. Like, so are you gonna film it in the woods? I'm like, of course I'm gonna fucking film it in the woods. Absolutely, like because it looks badass here. We've some of the best landscapes ever. Why wouldn't we make it part of our videos? I agree. And I don't know if would you do a lot of like urban kind of. Yeah. So if you look at all my videos and you wonder how'd you find a place like this? Yeah, illegally, and I'm not supposed to be there, and we find a place and then we get permission later. So, oh, brilliant! Yeah, because I like that. I got really interested in the urban exploring. Looking at the videos on YouTube, and I was just like I could imagine that there's some amazing places around Ireland for a video or a photo shoot or whatever, Even so, if you think about it, I know people laugh at the cultures in the Midlands, but we're hiding some serious gems here, and they're in my videos, and I've captured them, and they're mine now. So good luck, lads. I know where you've been if I see you. Brilliant. Yeah. I remember years ago, I was going past Cabra one time, I think it was, or near enough to Cabra, and there was a big, huge old. It looked like a mill that it was run down. It was closed up, but it looked like something out of Jeepers Creepers. Yeah. And I was just like, I need to go back in there at some point with a band. I don't care what band. Yeah. And of course, a year or so later, it was gone. Yeah. It was fucking gone. It was raging. I remember in Mullingar, this is back when I was hanging out like 15, 14 years old. There was this house abandoned at a long driveway just on the outskirts of town. And this house seemed like there was something wrong with it, like something terrible went down, because there was burn marks that kind of went up towards the ceiling, but in specific corners, and the rest of the house is fine. Had crawl spaces, had a stables, all abandoned. So I thought to myself, oh, class. Yeah, I'm absolutely gonna make a video here one day. It doesn't matter what kind of video, right? I leave, I go to college 2 years, I come back, place burnt down because somebody had a house party in there, and now it's completely totaled. It's a field. Fuck's sake. So if you don't take your moments, when will you? That's why we rush these videos sometimes and go, we only have the place once. We only have it now. Go now. That was a lesson learned there, wasn't it? Yeah, absolutely. It was like a complete missed opportunity. And I'll always think that I never got photos of that place. I just said to myself this time, yeah. I tell you, I think myself and yourself, when all this shit is over, we'll have to go looking around for absolutely locations. It's just for fun, like even. That's it. It's about this is the metal scene 101. I get it that you want to talk to the promoters. I get that you want to like form bonds with people that'll big you up, and you'll step up on the rungs, and you'll get your band will get its comeuppance, and you get the exposure. But the bonds you make and the people you meet are so fabulous. They're so full of life that's what it's really all about. The rest of the stuff is a bonus. It really is. It really is. So just if there's any bands watching or listening today, if give them an idea of the process that you would normally have
Mhm.
for. And by the way, sorry, I apologize. Cosmopalace is the name of your.
Absolutely,
Am I
yeah.
right?
Cosmopalace is the name of the
My
name of the
apologies.
page. No, it's absolutely fine.
Where'd you come up with that? That is something familiar. That is something familiar.
It's a one of them really artsy, pretentious stories. So I'll nutshell it, right?
Right.
It's 12 years old. Had a dream. Yeah, it starts off like this, lads. Starts off like this. Had a dream. Me and my friend were just walking around this like really white, ethereal place. I mean, you saw nothing but like white light. We walked over to what seemed like glass moving into shapes of a house. And my friend looked at me and said, that's a lighthouse. And I looked at him and went, no, you idiot. That's the Cosmopalace, where nothing is created nor destroyed. It simply changes form. Things come into being and things come out of being. So when I was first starting social media, first thinking about like, what am I going to call the things I do, like videos, photography, any of that, I was like, Cosmopalace, dude, because like it's what comes out of your brain and what just leaves your brain. Like this is it. You create it there and you leave it. I was like, okay, cool, Cosmopalace. And it stuck. And for the longest time, I swear no one was going to get it. But you know what? I always believe that if the name is not important, the work backs it up.
Yeah, but it's nice to hear. It really is nice to hear the story behind it, though.
Yeah.
It's a cool name. It's a snappy little name, you know.
It is. And the logo is created by Orrin himself. Orrin himself from Main Stage Design. Yeah, we were talking about when we were gonna do the Bloodstalk Metal to the Masses, and they asked me for a logo, and I just said, just this particular font. And they're like, that's it. I was like, yeah, just this particular font. I was like, no, man, no, you need a logo. I was like, who can I get for that? Like, I do logos. It's like, oh, all right then, collaboration.
I love it when a plan comes together.
That's it. It came together, and mainly because Orrin did not want to use that font. He's like, no, man, no.
I know, and he's very insistent when he wants something to do.
And he knows when it's good, though. Like I've learned with Orrin, it's like, all right, we'll just let him do his thing because it's good.
Like there you go. There's another example. I mean, like all of people outside of the bands that are there to support us all. I mean, we're very lucky. The likes of yourself, Steve Dempsey, Orrin, Double Metal Events, which is H, which is the main man, really. Even Bad Reputation in Limerick. And up north of James from the Distortion Project. Like there's such a good support network. Like if you really do want something done, there's really good people there to work with. And
it's an honor to be amongst this like kind of echelon right now, that where it's like it's not a safety net for the bands. It's more like we are the resources you have at your disposal. Please reach out, because you've no idea how sometimes you'll bring us an idea. You may not have the budget for what we're talking about, but we believe in the scene so much, we will figure something out.
Yeah. And there you go. That's all you need. People just need to hear something like that. That if you're willing to give them a chance, and they're willing to give you a chance, we can work it out.
Yeah.
And that's so. Back to what I was saying to you. If let's say I rang you up, I want to do a video. What way would you approach that now?
So it's always in these particular phases. Like, it helps me think about music videos like this and gets them done much faster. So first and foremost, I need to know if you have an idea. And if you don't have an idea, I can craft one for you. I give you a treatment based off of what I've heard from yourself. I break it down technically, and I also give you kind of like the emotional arcing that I want to see in the video. You'll get like a document. It'll show you like sample images from shoots that I've done before, or from shoots I've seen other people do, or movies or stuff like that. I kind of give you a gist of the plot in a treatment format. So it's like just a narrative, dude. It's just like a few paragraphs that says this is how it's going to progress. I give you a breakdown of what we need prop wise, all the technical aspects of it, and then just a general budgetary, like a kind of like a roundabout budget. It's not specific, because we'll figure out what we can afford, or you have yourself already. You can source yourself. And then once we've greenlight that, once the band are like absolutely happy, we go into pre-production. I start rummaging around like a producer. I start talking. I start casting members. I start looking for venues. This is all with the band. The band are basically the executive producers sitting in the background, like that one. He's a fantastically, get him. We'll put a bag over his head. I'm like, yeah, fantastic. Let's do that. And we figure it out. We start setting dates, and then we start planning it like a shoot. I start getting storyboards together, shots together. I start putting the call sheet together, because that's super important. So for people to see that your day is broken down into your whole music video is actually this many shots on this many days, and it's done. It's in the bag. Wow. That's when we go into principal photography, which is my favorite. That shit is like a countdown. Like, you have so many hours, so many minutes, get those shots. If it's not working, why is it not working? Figure it out, do the lighting, get on set. And those are like 4 a.m. wake ups, 5 a.m. collect my makeup artist, 6 a.m. collect my second camera assistant, you know, drive to the set, meet the guys, like, ah, where are you? You good? And they're like, yeah, man, just woke up. I'm like, oh, did you woke up? Did you? Yeah, fucking kick off the day, film all of that, get it in the bag, go home, cry because it's intense.
Yeah.
And then post-production, I start piecing the video together. The magic of editing and visual effects come together, and the guys finally see their baby. They see the draft, they see the magic of how it works. I tell them, don't worry about the colors, this will come here and there. They get samples. We start talking promo. That's part of the process. Nobody really thinks about that, but I talked promo at the very start of pre-production because I would like to know if when we're there to film, should I collect a shot? Are we going to make a GIF? Are we going to do like a meme? You know, what do you want to do that when it comes to advertising it? What do we got planned? What are the resources? And I want so many bands to really take that on the head. Your advertisement is everything. The reason your albums get big, the reason you land gigs, how you present yourself online, in person, everything is so important. Your rapport is the best thing ever. And that means you need to budget for advertisement. Yeah. I can give you so many resources, but I've seen the difference between just my resources and the video kind of stagnating view-wise, and the band already putting in the money to advertise on YouTube, to advertise on Facebook, and reaping the benefits. Still to this day, I still get tagged and stuff and be like, oh yeah, he's the music video maker. And it helps me and my work, but I'll never push it to that. I'll do as much as I can, but I've got to stop at 1.2.
Of course. Well, yeah, you have to set limitations for yourself.
Yeah.
To a point, like, you know, but that's a cool process. That's getting my juice flowing, really.
Yeah, isn't it? Like, isn't it super cool? It breaks it down, because this is what I have about film. I almost set up a little film lecture thingy to show kids that film may be scary until you break it down into steps. Songs are scary until you hear about intros, verses, pre-choruses, choruses, breakdowns. Then you're like, oh, if I just stick them together, if I have small building blocks that make big bricks, I will eventually build a house.
Absolutely.
You know?
The house that Angel built. I love it.
Exactly. The house that Angel built. I'm going to make that. I'm going to get Blumhouse to produce it.
Yeah. You should. Did you ever see that, the film with the house that Jack built?
No, I've never seen it.
That's all I'm going to say. Just look.
Okay. That's it. I'll make a post-it note.
Are you into horror? Yeah.
Yeah, I'm a huge horror fan. Yeah. Can't you tell? Can't you tell?
Of course. Do you know who? I'll tell you. One of the films I started watching only last year was Hereditary.
Oh,
have you seen that? Oh my God.
Same exact deal. I waited so long because Netflix didn't have it, Amazon Prime didn't want to rent that out to me, nothing like that. But Hereditary is so good. I won't spoil it for you, but dude, when he refuses to look in the back seat, masterpiece. Yeah, masterpiece.
It's so good, and like I'm an old school horror fan. And I don't like, you know, 6 kids go out to this, you know, and they're all gorgeous and all this. I like something where there's no hope at the end, and this is perfect for me.
Yes.
I love dread. I'd have the horrible feeling, you know.
That's it. My whole like cinematic career comes from thinking we can do so much more with horror. I think horror is a vehicle to explore so many things in humanity and how we feel about things, and it's a good political angle as well. Like you've seen stuff like Get Out, absolutely magnificent.
Another great film. Another like the last couple of that was funny enough. Midsummer I liked as well. Oh
yeah, Ari Aster's Midsummer. Yeah. And
then, as I said, Hereditary. You know, they need repeat viewing too.
But you know who brought this about, and this is where this is where I'll stomp my feet in the ground and argue with people. John Carpenter, Tobe Hooper, Wes Craven. These are the kings who brought us this absolute outstanding level of horror that has changed us forever. Absolutely. Like John Carpenter's Halloween, influenced by the fact that there are masked strangers out in the streets of New York. You know?
Absolutely.
I mean, Wes Craven himself is a god. I adore Wes Craven. If I walk away with one director and say he influenced so much, Wes Craven.
I was going to ask you at one point. That's cool. Because it's the nicey way what we're talking about. Sure. I love I love atmosphere.
Yeah.
I love atmosphere, and so it may not have to be and atmosphere and imagery, you know, and hence the films I told you about there. Well, I like them so much, but like I love the original Nosferatu and from 1922 or whatever, and I love the original Texas Chainsaw Massacre. They're my 2 favorite horror films. But again, They may not be the bloodiest thing in the world. They may not be the goriest thing in the world, but there's fucking atmosphere.
Yeah.
You can
The
feel,
tension.
you know, like, I mean, you can feel how hard it was for them on the Texas Chainsaw Massacre set. They fuck all money. You know, it was so hot. The high summer in Texas. You can feel that. You can see it. And I like that. And the fact that there's barely any blood in it as well.
I fully believe that horror is at its best when the monster isn't shown. I've always believed that the darkness is a blank canvas that man projects his fear upon. I made that quote for myself when I was like, what do you want to do with horror? Like, really tell yourself, what do you want out of horror? Don't just walk in and be like, oh, I'll just make horror films. And that very line is, the darkness is a blank canvas which man projects his fear upon. People are far more scared of whatever they're imagining than whatever you're going to show them. And that is why tension and atmosphere is beautiful. Look at Jaws. You barely get to see the shark. And amazing. When you do, it's just an explosive reaction, you know, because you've been building it up. Alien. I rewatched Alien just the other day ago for someone's birthday. And I kept waiting for the xenomorph to come out. Like, come on now, where's the xenomorph? Where's the alien? And that's the draw. It just constantly, relentlessly chases you, but you never see it.
Or another kind of thing for that me is the t-shirt I'm wearing today, which is American Werewolf in London.
Yes, I absolutely love that one. That is the best werewolf movie of all time.
Only werewolf film.
Yeah, exactly. Let's go with that one.
But the fact that you don't see it often.
Yeah.
Again, you know, but when you see it, it's awesome.
Isn't the intro when they're on the like foggy night and like everyone's looking at them in the pub and they're sent out? That is what horror is all about to me.
It's dread. It's, you know, something's gonna happen.
Dread, yes, it is. You know we're into metal, absolutely. Oh, dread, give me dread, bro.
So you like John Carpenter. Who else would tickle your fancy in terms of
like Wes Craven is a big influence on mine because I think he does horror perfectly. I actually think he just makes films perfectly. Yeah. Like The Serpent and the Rainbow about voodoo. That is unbelievable.
Great film.
Scream. He gave us Scream. He gave us The Hills Have Eyes. Wes Craven has done so much for horror. It's tremendous. But I really like the small guys in the background, like Tobe Hooper's Texas Chainsaw Massacre. The first Texas Chainsaw Massacre is a downright masterpiece.
The only way it
plays out. Yeah. Like I don't care about the sequels. Don't watch the remakes, but like, and I particularly like, I forget sometimes that directors make specific horrors that are amazing. Like, you know, Suspiria. Yeah. Like Dario Argento's Suspiria is the original is all well and good, but I actually really like the remake because they tried to stick to how they would have actually made the film back then. So stuff like Suspiria. I love like allegorical horror, like The Babadook, where the monster means something, you know. And my favorite horror movie of all time is Francis Ford Coppola's Bram Stoker's Dracula, because it is artistic and I'm a goddamn romantic. So like this idea of eternal love is amazing. And then he's a fucking monster for it. Like the way Wojciech Kielada plays the soundtrack, like oh,
it's brilliant.
Like it's metal. It's metal as hell. You know,
you know, it's a great. I love it. It's a great film. But my favorite, well, Nosferatu is my favorite vampire film. But my favorite adaptation of what I think vampires should be and acting is 30 Days a Night.
Oh yes.
Vampires are not, in my opinion, they're not a romantic looking thing that does oceans to be with you. They're dirty things that are trying to suck your blood and their face.
That's it.
And I just love the portrayal of them in that. I think it's fantastic.
Do you remember, this is going to be a crazy one, right? I think it's called Vampires in Brooklyn, the Eddie Murphy one. Yeah. Do you know his face makeup is some of the scariest vampire makeup I've ever seen? Make them look like bats, dude. People want that shit. They want to be scared by it.
Yeah, I know. And I mean, who would have thought Eddie Murphy in a horror film?
I know, and also so good at it too.
He's actually a very, very underrated actor, I think.
He is. I believe so.
Yeah. Like, did you ever see him in Coming to America? All the parts.
Oh, his like back then when, like, you know, before PC culture and stuff, like Raw, his live sets were so magically performed. He had it in him. He did it. He squeezed out of it. I don't know why we're talking about him like he didn't make it. He made it. He made the cake. He's gone now.
Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. Is there any? Let's try and get back into, because we could talk all night.
I know we could, right?
I know. Is there any kind of, like, say, big music videos that you would have loved to do something with if you get what I mean?
So like bands who I would meet and like maybe work with and stuff like that.
Not like, let's say, like, I don't know. Let's just say, is there a Metallica song you would have loved to do a video for? Say,
I really, I actually had, before I started like really getting into music videos and asking myself, do I want it to be my main career and stuff like that? I did listen to a lot of stuff, but at the same time, I was listening to deathcore at the point. Like I was listening to Suicide Silence, Wake Up, and that I started to try and visualize what could come about. But the problem is with Metallica in particular, I only remember the really great music videos like Sad But True, of course, Enter Sandman. I believe it's one, right? One's the war one.
Yeah.
That's a great one of using stock footage and blending
Yeah.
the materials together. So for me, it was more a case of there are actually music videos that I have just been obsessed with. And I think I'm trying to really live up to, like At the Left Hand of God by Behemoth. I will, that's my top tier. Like if a band wants to go get 20,000 euro, come with me into a warehouse and we'll make some magic. I promise you we'll do the same thing.
Yeah.
But I really then love, what is it? Whoa, what's that one, Pantera, where they're in a warehouse and it's shot really terribly.
I'm Broken.
I'm Broken. Yes, when they're the head banging and it's gritty, and I'm like, see, I love that juxtaposition. I love metal at its absolute core as well, where it's just lads in a space performing. And I really am just a big fan of the whole video process. Definitely. So stuff like that for sure.
You know what, a song I would have loved if I had had the abilities, you know, The Thing That Should Not Be by Metallica.
Yes.
That's my favorite Metallica song, and I would love to do some sort of, because it's a bit, you know, it's about Cthulhu type thing, you know.
Yeah.
And I would love to
something deep and dark and sleeping and relay. Yeah.
Throw something together with that, like, you know.
Yeah. I think if it was a Metallica song, dude, I would love to do Battery. I just think if I could capture 80s Metallica, but like at their absolute worst, I don't want shots of them performing. Maybe a couple of here and there where Kirk Hammett's going wah, wah, in the background, whatever. But like I want to see Metallica like hyperlapse, throwing shit at each other, getting angry, living the band life to Battery for sure.
That would be awesome, actually.
Right? Like showing what real metal is happening behind the scenes, because I'm pretty sure you read the memoirs, like Kirk Hammett talking about Dave Mustaine trying to like besmirch that is Metallica, and some of the stories that come out like, these are music videos, dude. These are music videos they're talking about.
Lead them to it. Give us an idea of some of your favorite albums, and they don't have to be in actual order.
What's that one? Angel of Death, Slayer. Is it in Diabolus or something? Rain and Blood. Yeah. Rain and Blood changed my life. I never heard something so raucously angry and so like volatile. Like the mix,
it's evil.
Yeah, the mix is shite, but that's the point. Like that's the point. It's supremely heavy. Right now, I let it in, and it took everything by Loathe. Loathe have just destroyed me. That's an album that's perfect, supremely heavy. I really loved Kill 'Em All. I really loved Kill 'Em All. That was a big one for me for a long time. Vulgar Display of Power by Pantera. Jesus Christ, what an album. Like what a powerful album.
Absolutely.
And oh yeah, there are just so many. So many. Sometimes I feel like I prefer like an era of a band, you know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. What Irish bands are killing it for you at the minute?
I think if I can remember them all right now, Horrenda are a big one. I think I latched onto Horrenda when I saw them live at this is hilarious. At Metal to the Masses, I walked up to them afterwards and I said to Oren, I'll be back. I've got to talk to these guys for 2 seconds. I walked up, shook Dara's hand, shook Aaron's hand, and I just went, you guys are fucking amazing. I will collaborate with you on a different front. We need to get together. And Dara leans in and goes, I'm your biggest fan, man. We'll work together. Don't you worry. And I was like, all right, man, I'll see you later. And just left for the night. Sectile. Sectile's the most recent album. Unbelievable. Well done. We all know Dead Label are killing it. Like there's no hiding how much Dead Label are killing it. Where's That Burn? These are all bands I work with. I'm sorry, guys. I'm just gonna go with the bands I work with.
That's the way to do it. Yeah.
Where's That Burn? Hit it on the fucking head. But you know what, guys? This is gonna be such a pandering thing to do. But I actually think if minus 10,000 hours really wanted to kill it, they could absolutely kill it. Because listen to the music they release. Listen to how much of a hybrid everything that the metal scene is in that, and they're gonna kill me for calling them metal. I'm sorry, lads, you're heavy as shit sometimes, and it's how it comes across to me.
Here, look, we love them. That's what we're. It's not like we're saying it to disrespect them. We're saying it because we love them. Okay.
Yeah, it's like we want to bring you in. You know, we're holding your wrist, and you're like, let go. And I'm like, no, come with us.
Oh, they're fantastic. They really are.
There's so many. There's like the Metal to the Masses one opened my eyes to how many there are. They're like Vendetta Love. God damn, I did not know we had something like Vendetta Love out there. You know.
Sorry.
So many.
It's just some band actually. Did we play with them actually? I think we played with them once actually. I think we've played with most every band in the country.
But that's the thing though. That's the thing. You'll do that. To spend a year gigging, really spend a year gigging, lads, and trying to land gigs. You'll meet everybody.
It's fantastic, and I like that. The Metal to the Masses really. That's what opened me eyes to what's going on.
Yeah, it's a potluck of talent.
Absolutely. So tell me this: have you any projects lined up at the minute? You don't have to. I don't want to know. Just if you've several or whatever.
We have at least right now. We've 6 music videos, but it's on that really strange line of like it'll happen. So I've gotten at least 4 emails from each of the clients, just being like, "Dude, still want to work with you. Please do not take us out of your calendar. You obviously know with lockdown, we cannot do this date that we said we do. Let's just postpone it." This has been like a year postponing, but at the same time, certain bands are just, but certain bands are ready when they're ready. Like Horrenda, by the way, was 2020's biggest thing because we spent lockdown nearly every week being like, okay, how much closer are we? Did we get the rope? Aaron, are you okay with being buried in dirt? Do we have the lead? Do we have the costumes? I'm doing all of that behind the scenes so that when lockdown released, you know, that like weird period when we thought life was okay again. Yeah. Right. We just ran, and we were like, let's get it done now. It doesn't matter. I even convinced the guys to do a reshoot. The audacity of me in a pandemic to be like, guys, one day, I know the performance shots are brilliant. I just think that I have a new idea that's going to kick it off. And it did. And they're the shots you saw in the end. There
you go. And that's what worked. When you give that person the freedom to show that the idea that you have. I know it'd be the same. I wouldn't be like, oh, here, another one. No, do it.
No, you'd have to like, you kind of think of it like, what if the mix was just that tiny bit better? What if your producer said, I figured it out. I figured out how to give it that punch. Exactly. You'd let them, you know?
Absolutely.
Outside of that, that's the physicality side of things. I do everything from like, I produce, film, get it in the bag, all physically. However, right now, bands are sending me videos they've shot themselves that I'll just edit together because editing is not easy. It is actually to give you a video that you can watch and enjoy. It's got to take a lot of cutting. It's got to know like the drummer does a cool thing here, but also what does the bassist do? Who do I pick? That's a lot of pressure on somebody, and I'm available for that for any bands listening. Is just excellent. If you have videos shot yourself, don't be ashamed. Who cares at this point in time? Make a music video and release it. Make it funny if you want. A band called Ruin, a post-hardcore band in Dublin. Yeah, they shot an absolute piss take. They did not play their instruments. They wore bras. They like swapped costumes halfway through. They skated across the shot, and it was really great. People loved getting a laugh out of it, and that's capitalizing on the moment, lads. So just think outside the box.
Absolutely, that's brilliant. Listen, it's been fantastic.
It's been a pleasure talking to you. It's just I knew it would be. I knew it would. It was like I know, Carl.
And I'd love, again, as I say, we will collaborate in some form or another.
Yeah, for sure.
Absolutely. So before we go, I want you to just tell everybody you're on, you know, just tell me your links. I will link them on the YouTube, of course, but just give us a little send off there.
Right. Well, lads, if you wanna get in contact and you want to collaborate, I'm always available for music videos. I am available for just concept photography as well. I would rather you go to Down the Barrel Photography for band shoots, but I do concept photography, same as a music video, but maybe it's for your Spotify canvases or whatever, or you just have a backdrop you'd like to like bring on a live show. I'm available for that as well. I'm always ready for editing commissions, anything related to videography. I'm free to talk about. Just reach out and we'll talk about that too. And we'll figure out something. You don't know what we could stumble upon that I might not even know. We did a live stream with Horrenda's guitar playthrough because we decided that's good content. And lastly, I, in my spare time, am a Twitch streamer, and I get it. Some of you may not know or give a shit about Twitch and think, that bullshit website. I'm telling you, if you're looking to see somebody play horror games, scream their absolute arse off, and just have a good fucking time during this, especially during this trying period of your life, just come on down. I've had some of you walk in there. You know you love it. Don't deny it. Don't deny it. You've been in there. We've had some laughs. And that's it. That's it. That's who I am. That's what I do.
Excellent. And I think that's the best way to end the show today. Listen, Angel, it's been an absolute honor. It really has. And
it's been a pleasure.
We will talk again. All
Absolutely.
Right?
Thank you so much for having me on here, and thank you to everybody for listening.
Absolutely. Guys, thanks again for watching or listening. This is KingWoes Court, episode 9, and we're out of here. Adios.
Bye.